Good morning, it's Ian Quist here. I'm going to start a YouTube channel to vlog some of the stuff for myself with regards to training for half Ironman, training for half marathons, maybe another year or two training for a full Ironman distance. A little bit about myself just to get the channel started. I'm a chiropractor for the last 19 years here in Lions Head, Ontario. I've got a wonderful family that's extremely supportive. My wife Amanda, who's also does triathlon but is a huge CrossFitter, and son Ethan, who's going to be 15 in 9 days, and my daughter Annika, who will be 14 in June. Both of them have done some triathlons as well, and it's sort of what got us into this in the first place. I'll share my journey as we go along here, but part of it was simply to inspire people, especially our kids. We were teaching them by example, by exercising. I'm blessed because there's a big chunk of my training. I'd probably say, 80 to 90% of my training is while my kids are either in school or asleep. So it works out really well for me. If you go online and watch different training programs with people, the majority of people do exercise early in the morning. I mean, it's dark out right now. I'm at work. I'm just getting ready to start my day. I start here really early, but a lot of people train early just so that they can still have family time. So anyway, I hope you enjoy my vlogs. I'm gonna give information with regards to diet, nutrition, just some inspirational stuff, and we're gonna start out with today's just being what I've got set up for this year. So I have I might not remember the dates exactly, but end of April, I think it's the last Sunday in April, I've got a half marathon in New Tecumseh or Alliston area. I had that one signed up because I was going to do the half Ironman in Chattanooga, Tennessee again in May, which was a great race last year. It was a lot of fun. It's a beautiful city. But Amanda and I are taking a trip in July to the Mediterranean, and it just didn't really work out. I had so many other things going on that having another 5 days off to travel and train for was too much. So what I've done is I'm doing the half marathon. I'm going to do some shorter, either sprint or Olympic, for sure one a month for June, July, and August, and then I'm going to do the Barrelman race in Niagara Falls, so a lot closer to home. Half Ironman distance, so it's going to be 2,000 meters swim, a 90K bike, and a 21.1 kilometer half marathon to end the triathlon. So that is in September, mid-September sometime. So that's kind of be my big training this year. I'm really excited about the fact that I'm going to have a few races prior to that longer endurance race. Last year, my very first race was a half Ironman, and it was my first half Ironman. So when I got in the water, I think I'd had maybe 2 open water swims up here prior to that, which were not, great training sessions by any means because the water is just freezing cold. So it's going to be great to have a few open water swims in race environments prior to doing a longer race. So that's sort of my plan for this year. So since January, I had started training for this half Ironman that I was going to be doing in Tennessee. And so I've been putting in some really long training days lately. I've got to taper those a little bit before starting my real build block for September, which will start May 7th. So yesterday, for example, I did like a 2,900 meter swim, and it was supposed to be followed by a 40-minute run, which I postponed the run just because my family had been away for a few days, and I was looking forward to getting home and seeing them. And so anyways, I did that. Today I've got a bike. I'll go over some of the training stuff that I do. I have one rest day, which is Tuesday. Otherwise, I train every day. I typically get 2 swims, 3 runs, and 1, 2, 3, I think at least 3, if not 4 bikes, so per week. Distances and the type of training I do does change depending on where I'm at during my training plan. The training I'm doing this year, I'm sort of self-coaching, which I don't recommend, especially if you're just starting out. I highly recommend a coach. Last year I had a triathlon coach out of Toronto who we did all of our stuff online basically. I talked to him on the phone a few times. I had it was a monthly fee. And then everything was set up in Training Peaks. I'm a big fan of Training Peaks. I think it's great. It gives me tons of information. Gives me all my data. I can look back and see where I've done really well and where I maybe haven't done so well. And so anyway, that's my way of sort of keeping track of things. So what I've done is I've taken my training from last year, which was definitely successful. I had a good race. And I've sort of imported it to this year obviously changing some of my zones that I'm training in, because as I continue to train, I get a little faster, a little healthier, and my heart rate zones change slightly. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing this year. Again, I'll keep you guys posted with that sort of stuff. This channel really is for myself. It's I have a Facebook page, IQ's I am 70.3 journey. I think I'll double check that and see if I can put a link below, that I used last year, just again as more of a journal or diary for myself. And so I was posting different things, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I had some ugly moments for sure. And I went through that 2 days ago, and I was just I went through all of it. I started right at the very beginning of that Facebook page, watched a few videos I did. I remember feeling what I was feeling. I remember when I was reading stuff and thinking of the fear that I had, and the concerns that I had, and the struggles that I had that were very real when I had a bit of a knee injury and stuff. So anyway, I decided then that I want to do that same thing this year, mostly for myself, although I do have a lot of people that like to sort of follow in it, and it might help inspire them to do more and to start doing things. So one last thing, I'm just going to share quickly my journey, because it started with me being up on the treadmill at the Y. I was always I can run and bike, and you're overlooking the pool, and I could see these people down below swimming, and they're just going like back and forth and back and forth. And I thought, man, it looks therapeutic. Like, it looks like they're enjoying themselves. They're just back and forth. I'm up on the treadmill, and I'm picking up a sweat. I'm enjoying it. I'm thinking, I'd really love to do a triathlon, except for the fact that I think I might die from drowning. So I said to my wife, I'd love to do one, but I just don't, the swimming thing I think it scared me, to be honest with you. I was what I would call a beach swimmer. So if somebody said, can you swim? I'd say, oh yeah, I can swim. But it was not, excuse me, something I could do for any length of time. So one of the strengths that I think you should look for in a partner as you go through life is a person that sees more in you than you often see in yourself. And Amanda definitely sees more in me and encourages me to break through those things. So she signed me up for deep end swimming lessons, of which I thought, I'm not taking swimming lessons. I can swim, it's fine. So anyway, she said, well, you're taking swimming lessons. So I take the swimming lessons, and the very first lesson, there's me and 6 or 7 other people. Friday morning, and the instructor asks us, well, where is each person, and what are your goals, and things like that. So she says, okay, everybody swim 25 meters, just so I get an idea of where each person's at. And I started out doing doing freestyle with my face in the water, because I couldn't turn my head. That I had no idea how to do that sort of thing, how to breathe. And so as soon as I ran out of breath, I kind of popped my head up. I did a bit of breaststroke, doggy paddle, whatever I could, just to get the 25 meters in. And my heart was racing, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's exhausting. And anyway, Amanda came down after the lesson. She said, well, how'd it go? And I said, I had no idea how bad of a swimmer I was. I mean, I had no clue that I was such a bad swimmer. So anyway, I thought at that point, I don't want to do a triathlon that bad. And Amanda's like, oh yeah, you do. So you're going to stick with it. Just do the lessons. I mean, it's a good lesson. So I thought, all right, so I'll take the lessons. I spent hours and hours in the pool that year, and I'm about an hour away from the pool. So it was a 2-hour drive, basically, an hour down, hour back, and then whatever time I committed to the pool. So I spent a ton of time in the pool, a lot of time on YouTube watching videos on how to swim, how to everything, how to kick better, how to breathe, everything. Started out with, I did it. I had my face in the water, and the instructor says, turn your head. I turn my head, and I get water in my ear. I jump up, oh, I got water in my ear. And she said, well, you're in a pool. You're going to get water in your ears. So I thought, well, I saw somebody else with plugs. So I went and I got these silicone plugs. So I used those at first. Then all of a sudden I said, oh yeah, I can tip my head, I can breathe. So as I was going through this process of training, I realized that, what if one of these plugs falls out and I'm 400 meters from shore? I'm gonna totally panic. So I thought, I'm gonna have to learn how to deal with getting water in my ear. So I took the plugs out and I started swimming like that. And anyways, it was a long journey. That one winter was crazy. And just yesterday when I was in the pool, I saw them doing deep end swimming lessons, and I said to Diane, the instructor, I said, I started there. And she's like, yeah, I remember. And I said, it was only 3 years ago, and I just did a 2,900 meter set. Like, I just swam basically 3K, and that was just training swim. Like, I was fine, And anyway, it's been a long journey. So if anything, I hope that encourages you, if you're watching this, to think, maybe I could do this. And I did a lot of tries. My first try was on a mountain bike, which just about killed me, to be honest with you. I went out there thinking, like, I just got to get through the swim without drowning, and I can bike and run. I could bike forever. And, I did a 10K bike on a mountain bike and had these people just whizzing past me. And I thought to myself, oh my goodness, this kills me. get off the bike and you go to do the run and it's like, what is this? Running after you bike? So anyways, I finished it. I was absolutely exhausted and thought, yeah, there, I did it. Not sure about this whole thing. But of course, I you know, they say there's something in the water, you know, you catch it. It's a bit, it's contagious. You get in the water with other triathletes, and I'm not sure what they do, but well, I do know what they do, but you catch something and it's the triathlon bug. So it's changed my life. Again, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about our journey on another vlog to do with Amanda and I and our weight loss journey and our health journey and everything else. So anyway, very first video. Hope it wasn't too crazy, a little long, but anyway, it's what I'm going to be talking about. So have an awesome day. Be blessed beyond measure, and we will chat soon.